And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Whew, hope you enjoyed that lovely brutal OSC as we have returned. We have returned with our quarterfinals match, our first quarterfinals match. Let's go into fresh series. Let's go for the first time in a long time. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of ley lines, we have our South Korean Terran player, the blue Terran, representing Shopify. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the Danish Protoss player, the red Protoss, representing Storm Gaming. It is MaxPax. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It's Gamba time, Papi. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will take the series. Best of luck in the chats as we jump into our quarterfinals. Winner of this series will advance on to face off against the winner of Hero and Cure. We have pure TVPs here in the lower half of the bracket, and we have a couple of Zerg players in the upper half as ByuN, he does sneak around the edge of the map and he's going for the eBay block. Let's go. eBay block out of ByuN will attempt to delay and disrupt the economy here in the opener of MaxPax, and ideally force the unnatural natural. As the eBay is well underway. If there's too much regression on the eBay, then MaxPax will be forced to expand at the third location instead. Yeah, you can see ByuN, he does check, he does head on over towards that third location, and MaxPax, he is late to move down to the low ground. He goes for a cybercore, then he moves down, and now he confirms the eBay and is forced to expand elsewhere. You can see that ByuN is patrolling the triangular third base, and MaxPax, he will go to the linear third instead. Oh boy, so there we go, the expansion has been taken. ByuN does confirm. And now it's on ByuN to potentially try to punish this. So MaxPax is in a really uncomfortable position. This is very similar to, say, in ZVP, when a Protoss player pylon blocks the natural and forces the unnatural natural as well out of the Prot or out of the Zerg. This is very similar in that kind of game state. From here, ByuN can try to go into additional Reaper Hellion. He can go Reaper Hellion and can try to pull apart his opponents and try to force MaxPax to defend at both locations at once and try to pull them apart. We'll see. Otherwise, we could just get into a standard game. Just a standard game from here. Just build up into the mid game. We shall see. So now we're going to be settling in. It's going to be Rax expand into factory. So still an economic follow-up here out of ByuN. A little bit delayed, of course, because he had to afford the eBay. But CC nonetheless. Meanwhile, we have our tech of choice, going to be a Twilight Council opener out of MaxPax. It is not uncommon to open up Stargate in this kind of position instead, to open Stargate to defend, just because it's a little bit easier for Oracles to maneuver between the bases. But we can see MaxPax, he has no fear. He does play Blink instead. Here we go. As MaxPax, he does saturate. Does saturate is natural. We have a Widow Mine Drop setup here from ByuN. Getting into his Mine Drop. We'll see if it's only Widow Mines or if he moves out with his Marines as well, as he's going to have a lot of Marines to work with. If it's Marine Mine, the goal is going to be economic damage, to focus on as many probes as possible. Regular Mine Drops are usually just about scouting. Oh, as we have a third gate on the way. Third gateway in the main. Rover here at the natural. Adept is going to be punished. Nice hold damage. Oh. As it looks like the Marine's going to be kept at home and the Mine Drop moves out, but only the Widow Mines. It's just purely the Mine Drop. It gets spotted by the Adept. MaxPax is where you can see the Interceptors coming in. And MaxPax is going for that Widow Mine, going for the Medivac, trying to force the unload. Does delay. ByuN hoping to try to catch those Stalkers. MaxPax up. He will lose a Stalker. Nice pick up. One Stalker goes down. Can he save that Widow Mine? He should be able to. Just barely up. Second Stalker kill. Very nicely done. ByuN, he kills 2 Stalkers for nothing. And does pull out. Does pull out, does pull away. Now, the one downside here is that this does mean that ByuN does not scout. But there's not much to scout. It's 3-gate blink into what should be a third expansion. Yeah, so 3-gate blink to a third. So a very safe play here by MaxPax. Does find the prism. ByuN, he doesn't come back home. He's committing here into the mineral line. He wants more damage. Greedy. We might as well drop. Oh! And the first one goes down. Oh, he doesn't pull away in time. 3 probe kills. Yeah, 3 workers do fall. So very nice damage here by ByuN, getting 2 stalkers and 3 probes. Likewise, Raven into the main, but oh, does overextend. Extension there by ByuN. Back at home, ByuN walling up. He has the bunker, sorry, he has tanks here in the main. Bunker at the natural. ByuN, he needs a little bit more time. Trying to keep up with the rotations. MaxPax going for the natural. ByuN is in position. So far, so good. And he's holding. Observer does check the main. MaxPax, he wants it. He wants that main base. Observer gets spotted. Observer goes down. And Stim is safe. Whew. Stim is safe. If there was an opening, then the Stim could have been denied. MaxPax pulling away. Expanding, of course, getting his third. Taking up into charge, into a bay. That's going to be a faster Colossus here for MaxPax. We mentioned this previously in the earlier TVP. How it's very trendy nowadays to go into a faster Forge, into +1. And a delayed bay, but not here. Not in game 1 for MaxPax. Raven does find a probe. Gets a couple. Gets 1, 2, almost 3. And 3 probes going down. Raven does survive. Nice moves here by ByuN. MaxPax looking for a way in. At this point, there's no way. There's no way in. MaxPax just containing. Prism has potential for Zealot Harass. Oh, and who runs into who? As they do pass by each other. Brutal Warp, Brutal Unsiege. There we go, does get away. Brutal moment to siege. MaxPax, he catches out the double drop. Doesn't quite get the Medivacs. Not quite. He breaks out. He breaks out. He's also aware of the War Prism, so should leave something at home to defend. Yeah, leaves the tank. Leaves the tank, getting to Viking production. Back at home, MaxPax on full 3-way saturation. Still working on this Colossus. He's got 2 so far, getting a 3rd. Prism pulls back to warp in. Viking is still amassing. And ByuN is taking his 3rd. He's taking his own 3rd base. See, the Vikings are on patrol. Looking for the Prism. They do find it. And Prism has to get the hell out of here. So pull away. And as we get into the mid-game here, ByuN, the goal would be to try to break the 3rd, or even cause a distraction. What do we have? We have the main army at the 3rd base, we have a Zealot Rambai ready for the natural, and the War Prism ready for the main. So we have a tri-pronged attack. At the same time, ByuN does hit the natural of MaxPax. ByuN, he runs into the Colossus. Oh, brutal, yeah, brutal force fields. MaxPax, he gets 1 Marauder. Likewise, he does pull the trigger with those Zealots. Bunker is still there. And as I'll say, rush into the mineral line. MaxPax moving in. Getting a couple of SCVs. Tanks are a little bit far back. Yeah, you can see the tanks are repositioning just a little bit too further back. Moving forward. Covering the 3rd. But still a 7 SCVs. And that was in the natural as well. Oof. MaxPax, he has to be careful here. Taking a little hits to the face. Getting 8 workers in total. So far, good damage. Getting 8 workers. MaxPax, he does rotate. Behind this, getting a 4th Colossus. Again, this is very meta nowadays to get up to 4 instead of 3. because how heavy the Marauder count is. There are just so many Marauders now in Terran compositions. And from here, we'll see if MaxPax goes for a second Robo or a Templar Archives. Does it go for Disruptors or Storm? Well, ByuN, he breaks out. Once that Colossus is going to get one. Yeah, one Colossus goes down. A nice pickup. He keeps chasing. Not enough Stalkers. Yeah, where's the anti-air? Stalkers are not there at the same time. GTs, they do hit the natural. 10 SCV kills. Very nice damage. That's a 10, getting up to 12. Oh, getting up to 13. Yeah, these Dark Templar, they're wreaking havoc. The Invisible Man, they're killing ByuN. They're killing ByuN at this point. 16 SCV kills. MaxPax, he likes his DTs. And with that, ByuN, his economy is crippled. He's all in. At this point, he's all in. One way or another. Either he breaks MaxPax or he's just going to run out of steam. Oof. Well, pushing into Colossus, not going to be easy. Never goes up. Does zone away. You know, ByuN gets a second Colossus. Very nice pickup, so it's out to go in for the surround. Yeah, and ByuN, he doesn't have enough here. He gets surrounded, he gets shut down. MaxPax, he will overwhelm. And he will clean this up. And remember, ByuN, oh no! Oh, he's crazy. A bit of his control. Yeah, ByuN leaves the army idle, will lose all his metavacs. And GG. GG gets cold. There's nothing left. MaxPax, he will take game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. ByuN forced into the all-in. He wasn't meant to be all-in, but was forced into it. Oh, as we're getting ready for our next game. We're getting into our next game. Is going to be on Killer's Mile. Here we go. Wrong score. Oh, hold on. Fixing that up. Beautiful. We'll fix that up. As we're getting into game 2. Killer's Mile, of course, is a new TLMC map. There's a new TLMC map as well. Has been very popular amongst a lot of the players, and of course has been added to this tournament map pool. So jumping into that second game. And, sorry, just my thought process was cut because I had to make the lobby. But previously in that last game, again, ByuN was playing really well. He was playing really well. He was defending. He was keeping up. He was harassing. But he was torn apart by those Dark Templar. He had no intention of going for an all-in. He was just breaking out and catching the army. But he was forced into the all-in as he lost almost every worker back at home. He lost over 20 SCVs. And with that, it was all or nothing. And alas, he could not break MaxPax, not against all those Colossus, not against the upcoming Disruptors as well. So MaxPax did persevere. And with that, we're getting into game number 2. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Killer's Mile, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Blue Terran, representing Shopify. It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Danish Protoss player, the Red Protoss, representing Snowstorm, leading the series 1-0. It is MaxPax. We go. So we're getting into our second game, and we'll see if ByuN can recover. And again, like, I was really impressed with his play overall. Like, I do think that ByuN, he played out game 1 very well. It was just the DT harass, right? It was just that one lapse in judgments, that one lapse in attention when the Dark Templar did wreak havoc, and it did kind of put a timer on the game. It did put a timer on ByuN. For now, double gas. Double gas opener, this time no eBay block. There's no engineering bay block here. Just going double gas into a faster factory. From here, we can go Reactor Reaper Hellion, Banshees, early Cyclone, early Tank Drop. ByuN has potential. Does have potential here. Let's see what he goes for. Likewise, MaxPax settling down back at home. Getting to his own opener. Just gate expand into Cybercore. Oh, sorry. Gate Cyber expand even. When it comes to Killer's Mile, this is at least in my experience, it's been quite popular amongst Terran players to go for this map. The reason for this, I would imagine, is because of how exposed the third is. This third base is very wide open. Likewise, there is no ramp, there's no choke point here to take advantage of. Ooh, but MaxPax does open up with a proxy pylon. Let's go. My eyes are on MaxPax. Before we can even think about a third base, well, let's talk about the natural, because the natural's on the way for ByuN, but alas, show us a proxy gateway. Yeah, proxy gateway's on the way, so this should be Zealot first. Oh, my apologies, Adept first. Adept is moving out across the map. Stalkers, extra reinforcements. The goal here for MaxPax is to delay the expansion for as long as possible. The goal is to delay. Adept is waddling in. So far, ByuN, he does shut down the first Adept. So far, so good. Adept does shade away. CC halfway done. Gateway still in production. We have another gateway here from MaxPax, so a 3-gate opener, very aggressive. And it looks like he won't be able to delay the construction of the base, but we'll see if he can delay the mining of the expansion. For now, though, you see ByuN diving into the mineral line. Takes down the Adept, gets one of the probes, gets 2. Takes down 2 workers, gets a 3rd probe as well, gets a 4th. Decent damage so far, and the warp ins are about to begin. We're getting to the point where we can warp in. There we go. Adepts are on the way, Stalkers as well. MaxPax moving out. Back at home, bunkers in production. There is a defensive cyclone, and we have a second cyclone as well. These cyclones, they should be enough to defend. MaxPax, he commits, takes down an SCV, denies the bunker, takes down the Marines. He's going for the Cyclone. That Cyclone, he cannot afford to lose it. It's the one thing keeping ByuN in this. Oh no! Oh my god, hot pickup. The pickup icon. Oh my god, the juggling. GG, the juggling is insane. And ByuN, he holds, he shuts down the aggression. And ByuN ties up the series 1-1. Whew. Oh my god. GG, GG, well played. Very, very intense game. Oh. Very, very intense game there as ByuN does take it. He does survive. And we're getting into the ace match. Oh my god. Again, MaxPax, he was incredibly committed there. He had invested so heavily into the Stalkers, into the Adepts, into his 3-gate opener. He failed to get that Cyclone, failed to break ByuN. And now we're going to the ace match. Let's go. Hi. We're getting into the ace match here, and we're going to be loading into El Dorado. And we'll see how the story ends. Did MaxPax have to GG? Because of how aggressive the build was, as a reminder, it was 3 gates. It was 3 gate before any tech. And he had already, he had committed quite hard to breaking that. Because he failed to get the Cyclone, what did he lose? He lost 2 Adepts, and I want to say 3 Stalkers as well. And upon that, we actually had more Cyclones on the way. MaxPax, he was in a really rough position. You could argue that he could have stayed in that game and tried to survive and play it out. But it's a hard call to make, especially at this level, because basically what you're saying is that you're saying that MaxPax, he has to rely on ByuN making mistakes, and ByuN like making like some ill-advised like decision making as well. So not necessarily something that you can rely upon, but I guess you could argue for it. As we're getting into the ace match, getting into game 3 and spawning in the bottom left hand corner of El Dorado, we have our South Korean Terran player, the blue Terran representing Shopify. Tying up the series, it is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, bottom right hand corner, we have the red Protoss player, the red Protoss himself representing Sidestorm Gaming. It is MaxPax. Let's go. Let us go. But again, basically, MaxPax, he had delayed his tech, whether it was Stargate or Twilight Council. He had heavily delayed his tech here in favor of that aggression. The aggression failed. And with that, does GG. And now we're getting to the ace match. We're settling in. El Dorado, of course, being a very unique map in the map pool. El Dorado, you can take these southern expansions, you can try to be more aggressive and expand towards your opponents. ByuN is quite fond of rushing into these gold bases depending on the matchup. We have these gold bases available, these center gold bases as well. These bases could be a factor. We'll keep an eye on our players. Another important thing here is the rush distance by air. Rush distance by air is very short from base to base, so drop play can hit a little bit faster. Stargate play is sometimes utilized because of that as well. It's very risky. I mean, it's always risky to open up Stargates, but even here in El Dorado, the rush distance by ground is quite short. Longer than by air, but short nonetheless. So playing Stargate is risky. We have seen MaxPax play Stargate on El Dorado before, so that is an option. It's definitely viable. So we'll see if MaxPax does mix it up. As he's going for the Twilight Council. Okay, we're calming things down, going for a Twilight Council. This time, no crazy 3-gate opener. Just gate, cyber, expand, Stargate. Sorry, Twilight Council. So early attack. As a reminder, at this point in the last game, he had a second gateway and was getting a third gate. ByuN does move out, catching the Adept. First Adept goes down, trades 1 for 1. Does end up trading the other Adept. Oh, does get a lot of hits off on the Heli, and the Heli wants away from going down, and it will fall. Alas, some rough losses there for ByuN. I mean, he does hold, does force back the Adept. Behind this, a Cyclone production has begun, very similar to the previous game, actually. Cyclones are on the way. Cyclone opener here out of ByuN, going into a Cyclone drop. Reaper dives in, gets behind the mineral line, and the Reaper does confirm the Twilight Council. Okay, so ByuN is aware. He's aware of what's going on. It's going to be Cyclone into tank. Upon seeing the lack of Stargate, he knows not to make a second Cyclone, but going for the drop regardless. Now, there's a lot of micro potential with this Cyclone, as we saw in the previous game. A lot of micro potential with that medevac, more importantly. ByuN moves out. MaxPax getting position in the main. ByuN boosting in. And he will catch a Stalker. Would you have a reactive warp in? Warp in does complete. Breaks the lock on. And MaxPax should hold. Yeah, he does hold. Oh, it was a Cyclone. Doesn't lift in time. MaxPax does take the better trade. Adept gets into the main base. SCV going down as well. Ay, ay, ay. This is getting out of hand. This is getting a bit out of hand here. 2 SCV kills. ByuN forced back home. And MaxPax coming out of the early game comes out ahead. He snipes the Cyclone, gets 2 SCV kills, gets a full scout of the main base, gets eyes on the 1-1-1 setup. No crazy faster TC or faster Vaxes. MaxPax looking comfortable, and in doing so is actually being quite tech heavy here. Forge and the Robotic Spade. So getting to +1, getting to Colossus production, MaxPax staying on a lower gateway count and delaying charge. He'll get there eventually, but doesn't prioritize it. So MaxPax looking quite comfortable. From the side of ByuN, I don't see him. I mean, he technically could turn this into a 2-base all-in, but from here should be expanding. We'll see where he expands. As MaxPax is expanding away from ByuN. Let's see if ByuN does the same. Oh. ByuN moving out. Does avoid the Stalkers. Does barely avoid. Likewise, the goal here from MaxPax was to contain and didn't quite pull that off. Third base is very exposed. There's not much of him to defend either. Yeah, the Stalkers are all out. Meanwhile, Stim is not done, but ByuN is going for the mineral line. And MaxPax is not ready for this. Does pull away. There's a reactive warp in. Going for the Zealot. He gets one. He gets both. But the Colossus does arrive just in time. Whew, that was very well timed for MaxPax. Without that Colossus, there would have been a tough hold and pros would have gone down, but he does hold. Whew. MaxPax, he holds. He did actually drag his Stalkers back home. I mean, that shows just how vulnerable MaxPax was. But he defends. Does defend. ByuN breaks out. Getting his third CC on location. Going for the linear third. With the vertical northern base. Drop into the natural. Spots more Colossus. Pushing into 2 Colossi, it's not going to be easy here for ByuN. Looking for another angle of attack. He does scan, stims in. Runs into the charge lots. So far maintaining himself. More Zealots warping in. Likewise, drop into the main. Not going to be distracting. Likewise, going straight for the naturals or going for the Robo. Nice snipe. Robo is going to fall. Bust into the mineral line. Pro's going to be going down. MaxPax out of position. Anyone in the main base, the drop is finally being cleaned up. Tanks are left alone. These are going to be expensive losses here for ByuN. Was this worth it? We'll lose both tanks. Both tanks go down. ByuN moving out with another double drop. Likewise, ooh, third CC is going to be delayed. So chaos all over the place. Now, ByuN did snipe the Robo, so there's only 2 Colossus. There's no additional Colossi here. Only the 2. ByuN dropping back into the main base, forcing the recall. Yeah, upon seeing it, ByuN has to get the hell out of here. Has to pull away. Doesn't lose anything. Oh. So far, MaxPax he's holding. He's holding on. Colossus in the main. Stalkers at the third base. Oh, Stalkers at the fourth as well. Medevac's getting very low. And ByuN, he didn't restart. No! Didn't restart the CC. The command center is still not done. It should be. It should be done by now. Feels SCV, man. Bappy, you're on the clock. Get going. That's actually brutal. This is actually hindering the economy of ByuN. He's long distance mining. No. As the sea, we're just, yeah, okay. There, he notices. Does notice. Does restart. Very delayed expansion. From here, MaxPax already getting a 4th base. Ay. He's getting his 4th. He's rebuilt his Robo. MaxPax, he has a supply lead. He's ahead economically as well. And ByuN is in a rough position here. Now we'll see what he can get done. Now, ByuN, of course, he has a lot of drop potential, so he can try to hit one of these bases. For the most part, though, MaxPax, he is split up. He's ready. Zealots say do counterattack. Back at home, SCV is going to be going down. ByuN out of position. He's racing back home. Oh, God, this is brutal. I mean, again, ByuN, he's already behind economically to begin with. Losing 2 more SCVs. Denying mining time. ByuN is stuck at home. He's just going to be stuck at home here. You know, MaxPax refining his army, getting to now Dark Templar. We'll see if he goes for a second Robo or into Storm, but I would imagine the second Robo is a little bit more natural in this kind of game state to get into Disruptors. Yeah, first Disruptors on the way. And here comes that Zealot drop in between the bases. Heading for the natural. ByuN is in position, so he's keeping up. Likewise, MaxPax looking for a fight. Scans top right, sees saturation. The Colossus looks like the first one is going to go down, but oh no, he's going to lose the Ghost. Yeah, Ghosts are falling. Brutal losses here for ByuN. As every ghost falls, ByuN, he was distracted. Again, DT's in the main base. Zeltis was the third. GG gets called, and MaxPax, he will claim the series 2-1, advancing on to the semi-finals. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Congratulations, MaxPax. He will claim the series. He will advance on. ByuN, he did have a little momentum early on, I will say, or at least some momentum early on, but alas, just some really rough moments there. Being delayed his third base for so long. He was behind economically, behind an army as a result, and MaxPax just took full advantage of ByuN. GG. GG, well played. With that, MaxPax, he will advance on to the lower semifinals, and we have our first semis ready. Let's go. Switching our scenes over. Let us catch up.